Several unpaid students briefly appeared in the background, including Thomas Matthew Crooks.
Shares of former President Donald Trump's social media platform, Truth Social, surged following the assassination attempt.
In early trading on Monday, shares rose about 30% to a price of $40.
A French soldier deployed in the country's anti-terrorism force was stabbed at a train station in central Paris on Monday evening, according to French government officials.
A soldier with Operation Sentinelle was stabbed while on patrol at Gare de l'Est in Paris. He is not in serious condition.
6 firefighters have died battling a bushfire in the eastern KwaZulu-Natal province of South Africa, with another 2 in critical condition, emergency services said.
Authorities suspect that the fire may have been started by poachers trying to trap animals.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Damn good coffee. And hot.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with a Dog. You make me laugh.
Making people laugh? Hello? Hello? Are we on? I don't even hear me. But that damn music is so loud. What's that? Can you hear me out there? Right. You know, I don't know if it's a good morning, but I'm going to say good morning to everybody. Good morning. It is Wednesday, July 17th, 2024. I don't know if it's a good morning because I have not slept. I'm a little delirious. I have not slept because of anxiety and stress and crazy, just confusion and worry about where we are in the world right now. Still have not gotten to the bottom of this alleged assassination attempt. I say alleged assassination attempt because I'm not entirely sure it wasn't theater. Obviously, somebody died. Not sure that was intentional. What we know, it keeps getting more confusing, and we are not being told the truth or the whole truth from any of the authorities. We know now that Thomas Crooks Sr., not Thomas Crooks, the father of Thomas Matthew Crooks, who was the shooter, was the owner of the gun, but also a avid Trump supporter, and on a database of gun owners that the Trump team kept, of apparently of people who have AR-15s, AR-17s, whatever the weapon happens to be. Funny that they've been, that side of the political spectrum has been saying the Democrats are going to keep a database of gun owners. Turns out the Trump team had a database of gun owners, and why? If they're so pro-gun, it doesn't make any sense at all. I'll tell you what else doesn't make any sense. The thing that the media is not covering at all is the RFK apparent collusion with Donald Trump. If you don't know, I'm going to break it down for you. I will show you a video in a little bit. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. had a phone call with Donald Trump in Milwaukee. RFK Jr. was in his hotel room being videotaped, knew he was being videotaped by one person alone in the room with somebody pointing a video camera at him. And clearly he knows they're there. And he's having a conversation with Donald Trump, which he had on speakerphone. He knew he had it on speakerphone so that the person with the camera could hear that and pick it up. On the call, former President Trump discusses RFK's role within the new administration, the Trump administration, and says, we're going to win. And RFK says, yeah. The only logical inference that you can draw from that is that RFK's campaign has been phony all along, and he's lied to all of his followers, saying that he was an independent when he was just in the race to help Trump beat Biden and is ready to accept a position within the Trump administration. Oddly, RFK tweets on Twitter, or X, posts on X, tweets on Twitter, posts on X, about, and on average, 150 times a day. He has put out one since the video that was supposedly leaked of him basically admitting to collusion. And he claimed he didn't know how it got leaked, and he was embarrassed, and he apologized to President Trump. Now, Trump obviously isn't the president, but that kind of fealty in saying I apologize to President Trump is pretty telling. And then he stopped tweeting. It's been 24 hours or 23 hours now since RFK has tweeted anything. He owes his supporters an apology. The people who've been on the bandwagon for him, who did not know they were actually on the bandwagon for Trump and have been misled, those people deserve an apology more than President Trump. But here's the thing. He's claiming he did not know who leaked the video of him. Now, there was only one other person in the room, the person holding the video camera, pointing it at him, that he obviously could see right in front of him. They had the tape or file. There's only one person who could have leaked it, and he knows that. And instead of going to them directly, went on Twitter to apologize to Trump. It's all very, very confusing. But in any event, this is collusion. It's sneaky, it's backhanded stuff, and it's not, the people who talk about doing anything to rig an election. This is doing anything to rig an election. They're stacking the deck, coming at, and Peter Thiel is behind RFK. He's also behind Trump. The money for RFK's campaign came directly from Peter Thiel, $20 million to get it started. Peter Thiel is also a major contributor to Trump and has spoken at the RNC in 2016 at Trump's first nomination. So I'm going to play the tape for you. Just a little programming note. We're expecting a comedian. I have comedian with a question mark because I don't know that she's actually a working comedian. It's one of the people who I put out a feeler for on social media, and she responded and booked a date. Comedian Naomi Green, who is also, I believe, a school teacher and like dipping our toe in the water of comedy. Anyway, we're gonna take a look at the video right now. This is the video that was leaked yesterday, in case you haven't seen it, and then I'll tell you what the tweet said.
I agree with you, man. Something's wrong with that whole system. Yeah, and and it's the doctors you find. Remember, I said I want to do small doses. Small doses. When you feed a baby, Bobby, a vaccination that is like 38 different vaccines, and it looks like it's meant for a horse, not a 10-pound or 20-pound baby. It looks like you should be giving a horse this. And do you ever see the size of it, right? It's just massive. And then you see the baby all of a sudden starting to change radically. I've seen it too many times. And then you hear that it doesn't have an impact, right? But you and I talked about that a long time ago. And anyway, I would love you to do so. And I think it'll be so good for you and so big for you. And we're going to win. We're going to win. We're way ahead of the guy. And, he's interesting. It was very nice, actually. He called me. And he said, how did you choose to move to the right? Because, so I guess that's, people say, if I was looking straight on, right? He said, I was just showing a chart. I didn't have to tell him the chart was on all the people pouring into our country, right? But I just turned my head to show the chart. And something wrapped me. It felt like a giant, like the world's largest mosquito. And it was a bullet going right. What do they call that? An AR-15 or something? That was a big gun. Those are pretty tough guns, right?
So he's in that video, and you see the language caption there. He's talking about the position, a job for RFK. This is going to be good for you, and RFK, and we're going to win. And RFK says, yeah. I just want to address one of these comments here. So NBC and other news services are each wrong, pointing to a article where they claim that RFK's candidacy hurts both Biden and Trump. No, that's not a necessary conclusion. I don't know if they're wrong or they're right. That's conjecture on their part and polling and all that kind of stuff. They could be right about that, but the intent was clearly, and as judged by the video you just saw, the intent was clearly there to help Trump. Now, whether it backfired or not, and NBC and others were right or wrong, that's not for me to say. I don't have the data, and neither did NBC, to be honest with you. We've talked about that at length and discussed that at length, whether he was actually taking votes from Trump. But the intent clearly was to be in it together to defeat Biden. And so that's where we're at today. And again, he's been silent. Part of the confusing part of this is it doesn't seem like a leak. A leak is when somebody does something without your permission. He knew there was only one person who had that tape. There's only one way that got out. There's only one person who could have given that to the media or posted that on the media. And it seems like he might have sanctioned it. And why? What would be the messaging that he's trying to get out, and to whom? His tweet immediately following that: when President Trump called me, I was taping with an in-house videographer. I should have ordered the videographer to stop recording immediately. I am mortified that this was posted. I apologize to the president. Again, Trump is not president, but the fealty within that comment is pretty blatant. So draw whatever conclusions you want. You're free to tell me what you think of that. What do you think that RFK intentionally put that out there? He obviously had to know who put it out there and has the ability to confront that person. This is a person he hired. And why do you have a person hiring you. And it smells like bullshit when you say, I should have ordered them to stop filming. You were looking right at them. You had it on speakerphone. If you did not want them to hear what was said, you could have not had it on speakerphone. So it's all that stuff. Anyway, we'll be right back with GD and Ron. It doesn't look like Steven is back yet. Maybe still having power problems. I was led to believe he got his power back yesterday, but he's not here now. And so maybe we'll check in on him later and see how he's doing. Right now, let me tell you about Daily High Club, just because.
With humble East Coast beginnings in 2015, Daily High Club is the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and consumption accessories. If you're looking to elevate your smoking game to the next level, you're in the right place. With over 1 million top-quality smoking products sold, and with a growing base of over 10,000 monthly subscribers worldwide, we deliver the ultimate smoking experience. But Daily High Club is not just a retailer, we're lovers of the smoking scene ourselves, working with giants like Tommy Chong, Snoop Dogg, Chanel West Coast, and more. Ready to join the Daily High Club? Let our experts curate your collection with our awesome El Primo monthly subscription box, or grab one of our fun and unique pieces from our smoke shop. Click the link in the description below this video to get this party started now.
Now. Yeah. Hey, Ron's stealing my spot. Mr. I Am Napping has a message for you.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. Are videos and recordings of your secret conversations leaking out?
No.
Go to MindDogTV.com and order your supply of Depends Plus for media leaks. Stop that shit from leaking before it hits the fan. MindDogTV.com. Enjoy the suffering.
I think my diaper is leaking. Good morning, fellas.
Morning.
I don't even know it is morning. It doesn't feel like morning. It still feels like night to me. I'm shot. I'm deliriously shot. I cannot sleep.
Nap in the afternoon.
The one thing I had to say about that video that you played on the call, that definitely sounded like someone calling a parent, and they just kept rambling on and on about stuff.
Well, it was like within like 10 hours after the event. It was Sunday morning, early Sunday morning. So it's just curious that Trump called him right after Biden called Trump. That's really, all of it is curious. I don't know what to make of it.
Well, Trump probably, you know how Trump is always associating himself with historical people, not hysterical, but historical people that really don't connect to him. Like he's always like he's connected. He compares himself to Jesus. Well, since he got the shot at, he probably thought of Martin Luther King, Bobby Kennedy, JFK. And he goes, who would understand this right now? RFK Jr. And he reaches out and calls him. And when he calls him, RFK looks at his son. His son is the videographer. And he says to his son, don't record this, okay? Turn off the camera, right?
So wait a minute. You know for a fact that his son was the videographer, because he said I was working with.
And his son is the one who also posted it.
You know that for a fact?
My sources tell me that. Yes.
Where are the sources? I mean, this is important.
I have sources at CBS. If you go to the CBS and CNN, and I have sources.
Well,
there.
that just complicates the confusion even further, because he's saying I was working one-on-one with a videographer. If it was his son, you would think
his son is his videographer, just like Nancy Pelosi's daughter was her videographer.
But you would think he would say that I was working one-on-one with a videographer. And so if his son put it out there, if what you're saying is true, then he had to. It's not a leak. It's a purposeful plant of messaging.
According to my sources, his son posted it without editing it, and he regrets it. But on the other hand, his son also attacked former president, twice impeached, 34 times convicted, 4 times indicted, former defeated President Trump he chided his choice for vice president. JD Vance a lot.
We're just putting this out there that GD is saying something that had not been confirmed.
It's confirmed. He's 4 times convicted. He's 4 times
indicted. I'm talking about the son being the videographer.
It's been confirmed by my sources at CBS and CNN.
CBS didn't put it out. They wouldn't know. This came from.
But they have a quote from the
Minority Report, huh?
They have a quote from the Sun.
Let's see it. Could you pull it up, please?
Is that better?
No, I want to. You can't be adding to more misinformation on this, Gov. It's confusing enough.
What are you talking about? You put out misinformation, not just now, but the other day.
What was that?
That guy Crooks. He did make that contribution to that left-leaning group. That other person that lives in Pittsburgh with the same name, they live in Pittsburgh, but the address for the donation is Brooks's, the boy, not Brooks's, the guy who lives in Pittsburgh.
I have not seen that anywhere either, because
Those are my sources at CBS.
Again, I want to show you.
Here we go. Sources. It's right here on CBS News from 18 hours ago. They did say that his son posted it.
They said that, but they did not get the video. Minority Report, and so his son went to a left-wing organization and gave it to them.
Well, they have a quote from him. I mean, they could have interviewed him after the fact.
Yeah, Kennedy's son, Bobby III, who posted the video before deleting it a couple hours later, wrote on X, Trump could have picked a unity ticket. Instead, he picked JD Vance. Fire all the unvaccinated nurses, Vance. Bobby Kennedy III wrote.
And so
the conversation occurred. The conversation occurred just 2 days after the assassination attempt. And yeah.
According to Kennedy, it was the day after. So that's.
Are you going to believe Kennedy, who denies saying things?
I'm not going to believe any. I want to see, but I'm not going to necessarily take CBS's word for it because they were not there. And again, if that's the case, why is he he's mortified that it got out there?
Yeah, well, I think because he's been telling his base, I'm different from these two guys, blah blah blah. Right. Then all of a sudden he's just opening his mouth. He's like, So
why would he even see that? This is the really confusing part. Why would he even tape that if it wasn't for the intent of putting it out there? Again, he wanted the video to hear that. He could have not had it on speaker.
This is my theory. Now, this is not from my sources. This is from my brain. Okay, someone like Bobby Kennedy or anybody else who looks at Trump as some kind of great figure or popular figure and wants to ride his coattails, they get a phone call. They say, this is great for me. Trump called me. Okay, and maybe he didn't want the whole tape out. Like he said to his son, record this. I can't wait to share this, or something like that. And his son, without thinking, this should be edited, just put it out there. Okay. Bobby Kennedy just wanted people to know that Trump called him. Not, that's all he wanted out there. He didn't. This is just me thinking. He wants to ride his coattails without revealing what's under the coat.
Okay, that shit theory makes some sense, except for the fact that the whole world already knew that Trump called him. That information was out, and he talked about that before the tape was released.
But a video adds to it. If you have a video that adds to it, that adds more. Because how many times has Bobby Kennedy said something and then taken it back, or it's just not true?
Well, the other curious part of this now, he has not. This is a guy who tweets all day long, all night long. He hasn't said anything since that thing about he's mortified that the tape got out.
Well, you can blame Ron for that. Ron probably muscled him and said, "Keep your mouth shut."
Well, we do know that RFK Jr.'s family doesn't like him, so maybe that's why the son put it out there.
Oh, you think the son doesn't like him?
The son could have had pressure from inside the family, or maybe his son is on the side of the family, like, yeah, you need to get out of this.
Now I hear what you're saying, but now we're in the space of just like throwing darts in the dark. Like,
well, no, it's not so much. To me, it just kind of makes sense because families would do that to one another, especially that family.
but the son has been on his side throughout the whole. The son is the one who helped put together that fake debate, the real debate that he called the fake debate that was called the real debate. The son was the technical guy behind that.
But inside the family, we don't know what's being said, and if those reports are true, like the rest of the family is not into him running or tell him like get the fuck out of the race. You never know. Maybe someone in that family came to the son. They're like, "All right, knock it off. What do you got here?"
All right. I think, of course, this is conjecture, but I think that the reason he has been quiet is he has no idea how to address his 3.1 million followers on Twitter to say I wasn't on the Trump train all along, or whatever his messaging is going to be. He's trying to figure out what that is. Nicole Shanahan has also been quiet since the tape got out. I think it's time for him. I know you have said he was going to drop out, going back as far as I can remember now, but I think it's time that he owes it to people to drop out and kind of make this a two-man race. And obviously, according to that NBC stuff that Damien shared, that indicates that he was kind of splitting the baby, taking some votes from Biden, taking some votes from Trump. We don't know that to be the case, though. I mean, that's just like speculation.
Well, it depends on the demographic. It looks like that Kennedy was taking some of the youth vote from Biden, but taking the anti-vax vote from Trump. That's the way.
What do you make of what Trump? I know it was like fucking insane old man talking, but he's talking about vaccines. You look at it; it looks like, I don't know. You feed a baby. There's like 38 vaccines in one vaccine, and it looks like it's for a horse. But then you feed a baby, and then they start changing. It's like, what the fuck is he? You want to hear it again and see if you can make?
No, I can't. Don't.
Make sense of what he was saying about the vaccine.
Oh, he was just rambling, wasn't he? He was like like the size of a horse.
It sounded like he knows Kennedy is
anti-vax.
And this is why it's confusing too. He knows Kennedy is super anti-vax, and he was just trying to come up with some kind of Trumpian bullshit to make him see like I'm totally with you, anti-vax, even though he was pro-vax and he took credit for the vax. He was the one who pushed it through. He was urging people to get vaccinated, but then all of a sudden he feels like he needs Kennedy on his side in some way. So he needed to kiss his ass a little bit and show him that I'm totally with you on this vaccine stuff. It's all bad. It's all bad stuff. I don't know. It's all confusing to me, and I don't know what to make of it. But the media's not really reporting on this at all. They're just like, it's no big deal. But I think that kind of collusion, like let's team up to split the baby, take and attack Biden. If that was in the works all along, that is as crooked as election interference gets. And why isn't the media touching that?
Yeah, well, I think if you were a Robert Kennedy voter, I think he'd probably be pissed about this. And when people get upset about like I can't put faith behind politicians, this is the fucking reason why. Because over something dumb like this,
right? And also the comedians, and Mike Binder has been curiously quiet about this too. The comedians that Binder has recruited to do fundraisers for Trump, they put their name for RFK. They put their name behind, and some of them, at least, I'm not going to mention their names. A couple of them that I know personally, I know are anti-Trump. They're not they're not Trumpers, but they were willing to be supportive of RFK and put their name out and do shows for him and fundraisers and all that stuff. Now Binder recruited them to do that, so he's kind of he's kind of on the hook for this kind of stuff with them and their reputations, because they thought they were raising funds for a campaign that wasn't really a campaign. So it'd be interesting to see their reaction now. Did they come out and say something, or they just like act like, oh, stay quiet on it, just hope it blows over?
It's funny. About 2 years ago, two and a half years ago, I was on a short list of some comedians for an independent candidate who wanted to push his name out there for president as an independent, and wanted to do a comedy tour to kind of push it. And so I started researching, because everything he said, was details. The devil's in the details. And I couldn't get any details about how he planned on doing the things he was talking about. Sure, fine. Freedom, yeah, okay, fine. But how are you going to do this? And there was no specifics. So I wrote and asked for specifics. And he wouldn't give specifics. He said, look, I'm just trying to put together a tour, trying to get him out, we're going to be paying you, blah, blah, blah. And I said, but I want details. I'm not putting on something just for money.
All right, is it just me, Ron, or did that break up for you? Because was like total, yeah. I think you're having major Willie breakup problems.
Is it breaking up now?
No.
It's when I shake my head. Fuck.
Is that?
Yeah, I don't understand. Whenever I get excited,
it's happening now.
I don't understand because the microphone is over here. The microphone is not touching me. That means just earbuds.
Just like GD, his connection is unstable.
Yep, he's unstable.
What
anyway,
you hear now?
I hear what. And we're back. And I almost feel like Willie's back.
I'm trying to troubleshoot it.
Is there something else you can use? Just the actual mic built into the laptop or whatever you're using.
No, I'm using the mic from the camera. I'm not touching that. The only thing that's touching me is the earbuds, so that I don't have feedback.
Oh.
And
well, now it's working.
It only happens when I shake my head.
Yeah, now it's working.
It only happens when I shake my head.
So don't fucking move.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I'll stop moving, but it doesn't. I'll try not to get animated when I talk.
A lot of things don't make sense. So yeah, I think but I feel like the all the events of the last couple of weeks have just like completely overloaded my my nervous system completely, and I'm just like, I'm full of anxiety about this fucking thing. I had a friend yesterday, a Trump supporter friend, who told me, because I mentioned Project 2025. He said, well, the left has their own version of that. I said, no, they don't. Yes, they do. I said, well, show me where there's a left version. Because I was talking about the idea of, mass deportations and taking women's rights away, period cards, the restructuring of overtime, taking veterans stuff away. Oh, the left has their own version of that. I said, no, they don't. This is Project 25. This is a document. You could have said, yes, some leftists have made inflammatory or like extreme statements about where they would like to see the government go. That's different than having a document mandate. He said, well, who authored it? I said, Trump's team authored it, and most of them are through the Heritage Foundation, but they are all on his staff. The leader of the thing is his national press secretary. Well, I said, read it. I don't want to read it. No, you don't want to read it. Yeah, you don't want to read it. That's the problem.
Even if you don't read the whole thing, just read the table of contents, because the table of contents tells you who authored each section, and then that section it'll have the name of who that person is.
Right. The reason I went here is that this is what's concerning to me, that people don't want to know the truth. They just want to pretend. They want to pretend that we're going to be fine. And like, no, we're not going to be fine. We're going to be in a theocracy. If you don't understand that it's already started with the Supreme Court stuff, with the Bibles in the schools and all this stuff, we are dealing with the American Taliban in the Heritage Foundation, and they are authorized by Donald Trump. You heard him thanking him, but the people don't want to know. They just want to, bury their head in the sand. And I just hate Biden so much, I'm just going to fucking, go down the Hitler road. And so this has got me like really fucking, because I understand that the odds are very likely that we're going to end up with this situation, that Trump's going to win the election. And then what do I do? What do I do? I just fucking lay down and die, surrender myself to the concentration camp for dissenters. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I don't think I'm actually, my stress level will allow me to make it to November. So that's where I am. Not sleeping at night, the whole bit. So
I told my wife that I'm willing to bet that the people who make Tums and Prilosec and Rolaids are behind the recent news headlines, just trying to stress us out and make us buy more antacid.
Well, I definitely feel like since that the assassination attempt, I feel like that hasn't really moved the needle at all, because he's not really a great guy, and I think a lot of people are like, eh.
It is like, fuck, he missed.
Yeah, because it's not even about like, oh, like the political violence is bad. I'm just saying in general, like that happened, and people were like, eh.
Other
his
thing
base was fired up, but other than that, I think most people were like.
The other thing that's pissing me off is that the city of New York is now spending extra money for security for Trump Tower. No, Trump Tower is a private company. Let them have their own security if they're concerned.
I thought what's her name was supposed to own it already. But
that's being delayed.
I know that's going to be appealed. There were reports yesterday that I have not. I'm not going to try to track it down now. A 21-year-old with a ski mask and an AK-47 walking the streets of Milwaukee near the convention. Now, I'm not sure that he was breaking any law.
No,
they can charge him. Yeah. So, but he was stopped. And let me see if I can find the story. But that's troubling, like, copycats and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I think they are breaking it. It's not a law per se. What it is the conventions like this one are given a different. They're given more leeway to protect the parameter, so they can like spread things out. They can spread the parameter out a little bit further than ordinary. So, I think the mayor was, I think, or maybe it was just a request they put in.
All right, so it was almost 24 hours ago now. It was yesterday morning. 21-year-old male and he has not been identified. The media is not really covering this at all. 21-year-old male wearing a ski mask, carrying an AK-47, arrested in Milwaukee, 2 blocks from the Republican National Convention.
Yeah, Robert Kennedy Jr.'s son is getting around.
So, why is the media not saying anything about this? And
they're talking about that shooting. That's why.
The targets, the assumed targets, we can assume. I mean, he wasn't walking just on to Milwaukee, the city of Milwaukee, on any day wearing a ski mask and carrying an AK-47. It happened to be when the Republican convention was in town and 2 blocks away. I think we can assume that this guy was intending on shooting one of them. I mean, that's
which night was it? It could have been after Marjorie Taylor Greene. I can see that.
Yeah, no, any of them. It could have been, and it might. But I get where I went. The reason I went there was the Republicans will defend him because he wasn't breaking any law in Milwaukee if they have open carry. I don't know that they have open carry there, but I can't see that if he didn't shoot anybody, didn't point it at anybody, was he yet breaking any law? So let's defend him.
Maybe it turns out it wasn't a real gun. Maybe it was like a no story. Like the guy was just walking around with a fake gun, trying to get his name in the papers or something.
Police said the firearm was found hidden in a large tactical backpack he was carrying, so it wasn't out in the open.
Okay, then never mind. I take that back.
Why was he wearing a ski mask? Well, you know what? That's gonna.
It's hot. That keeps your body. If your body temperature is 98.6 and it's 101 degrees outside, you're cooler in the mask.
He's probably one of these guys that want attention. And the funny thing is, when I was in Austin, because in Texas you can carry, and the worst thing you can see is a shirtless white guy in jeans with a gun stuck in his belt, and he's like a little crazy or maybe just been drinking. It's like that makes you feel pretty good about America right there.
There are times when because I don't scare easy, but I do get concerned frequently. When I see shit like that, I get concerned. All right, I'm not afraid, but I do get fucking concerned because there's just some people. I'm sorry. I grew up afraid of white people with guns. All right, I'm not gonna lie. That was like very, very. That was instilled in me at a very young age with being afraid of white people with guns and ropes. All right, that's it. Okay, I'm sorry, and I'm just getting over it. Maybe this year, I don't know. Like I said, it went from fear to concern, so I'm getting better.
Or when they take you to their murder sheds so you can see their Nazi memorabilia.
Yeah, like I said, I've gotten a little bit better, but I've gone from fear to concern. I think that's a step in the right direction. But that shit still concerns me when I see it.
Yeah. It would concern me too. The ski mask is more troubling than him having a gun in a backpack because you're looking to hide your identity while you're carrying a gun. Nobody.
People in the age of Marvel heroes, when you have people like Deadpool who are wearing a mask for a good reason because he's hiding his face, so that you can eat your meal. I can understand. Maybe he's a burn victim. I don't know.
Did you see any of the Lester Holt interview with Biden?
Man, Lester Holt needs to retire.
I did not see.
What is wrong with him?
I did not see the interview. I saw one line of it where Biden snapped at him, and why you guys keep talking about the debate? Why aren't you talking about all the lies that he's been telling and all that stuff? I saw that one line of it. I don't have the patience to watch that whole fucking interview.
The weirdest thing is the over adjustment. The people, the over adjustment and the false equivocation that people make in attempts to appear to be unbiased is nerve-wracking. They go to you can be unbiased and still tell the truth. You don't have to be unbiased and be like this both sides shit, okay? When both sides are not equal. That's not being unbiased.
I don't think they're playing it as both sides are equal now. I think almost it seems to me, and this is my perception, and you can disagree with me on this, but it seems to me like they're playing one side, and that is they all are making money off of Trump and ratings. So let's keep Trump around because he's good for the news business, 24-hour news cycle, cable news. He's good for them. It adds to their profit. That's their basic interest, and
you can still do that. You can still do that and tell the truth. You can keep them around and tell the truth.
I think they have a vested interest in him winning.
Well, yeah, I just get the feeling like everyone is just sick of Biden, and they're like, just can you just step aside, bro, so we can get this party fucking moving.
Right.
Well, that's one of the things that's annoying me the most is like either both of them need to step down for two different reasons, or neither one of them should step down for two different reasons.
Right. Speaking of stepping down, did you see Rudy Giuliani step down?
No, I heard that he showed up when he was expecting a VIP treatment, and he got the treatment, but it was just a pee.
No, he fell down. He fell down drunk. Fell down drunk. Walking. He took a few steps and then banded off, and then fell into a bunch of chairs, completely drunk and inebriated at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And embarrassing.
5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, right. But an embarrassment, it kind of the kind of thing that where, the drunk uncle, like where you're apologizing to everybody. I'm sorry you have to deal with. There is no mention of the Republican brass saying, get Rudy out of here. He's fucking, but he is that uncle, that drunk uncle.
I did not hear he got drunk and fell down at all. I just heard that he showed up and was expecting to be treated with like royalty, and he wasn't.
Oh, I'll show you the video. Hold on 1 second here.
Go ahead, Ron, while he looks this up, because it's going to take him a minute or 5.
You think so? You think it's going to take me a minute?
Stop stalling. Go ahead, Ron.
I definitely would like to see. I would like to know how he actually feels as a person at this point in his life.
Drunk. He feels drunk. Oh,
yeah. I mean, besides the drunkenness, I mean, I just wonder what it's like for him to feel used by Trump and stuff. Like he's just laying on the floor with his ass in the air.
Now, where is this? Because I got to get this footage. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. That seat wasn't taken. Nobody from Maryland was sitting there.
I wasn't drunk. No. I'm not drunk. I'm not drunk. All right. So, yeah, that's that. Anyway.
Well, I would feel bad for him, but he's a piece of shit, so who gives a fuck?
Yeah, no, can he get a D? Can he get a DUI for that? Delegating under the influence?
I don't. The other thing that I'm not watching any of the convention stuff, by the way. I'm just what pops up on my social media feeds.
And I'm watching the convention, and I'm not even seeing this shit.
Well,
this so
I'm sure that was not like part of the convention coverage.
This is so fucking unfair. I'm being
accidentally caught on tape or something. I don't know. It was.
I watched the Daily Show from last night. And they were, playing clips from the convention. And there was a point where they had Lee Greenwood up on stage to bring in Trump. And Lee Greenwood fucked up so bad because they were like supposed to start the song, but Lee starts talking. Then the band's like getting ready, like, all right, we're going to go into it. Then he starts talking some more. The band's still behind him. It's like, all right, we're going to start now. Then he starts talking some more. And the camera actually pans to Trump. And Trump is like speaking. They had to.
Trump is definitely a control freak with directing. Yeah, he wants to be the director of everything, and so I could see him doing that. Like, come on.
It's funny. He wants to be the director of everything, but he doesn't take credit for anything when it goes wrong.
Right.
I wasn't involved. I was barely involved. I don't even know who directed this.
It is so funny to see because they had to play the band off with another band with all this music to introduce Trump. It was fantastic.
Did you see now he was also humping Bibles. He was there to kind of sell the Trump, because he's partners with Trump in that Trump signed Bible thing, Lee Greenwood. So that was his purpose, is to sell more Bibles. The Gates and McCarthy thing, did you see that confrontation on the floor of the convention? They were interviewing McCarthy, and Gates went over there and said, if you take that stage, you're going to get booed off the stage. And then McCarthy said, you're under investigation for sex with a minor. Shut the hell up. And Gates went over to kind of like intimidate McCarthy, and then the security guard just said, "Don't be an asshole. Get out. Get out." And the guy and Gates is saying, "I don't even know who you are. You don't have to know who I am. Don't be an asshole. Get out of here."
Really?
And there were like 6 different angles on it. It was incredible just to watch the infighting on the floor. I mean, this is nothing new. McCarthy and Gates. I mean, Gates is responsible for McCarthy getting ousted, and it started even when when McCarthy was up for confirmation. All the infighting and the finger pointing on the floor of the House. But that was I'm not going to pull that one up, but
I just want to address something real quick.
It's rare to see open carry in Texas anymore from the foul mouth teacher.
Yeah, Rhodes. The problem is it's not that the reason you don't see it right now is because it's hot as fuck in Texas. Metal conducts heat. You're not going to put something that hot on your hip because it's going to burn your junk, okay, on your hand when you touch it. As soon as it cools down and they can touch their guns again, you'll see it again. That's all. That's all I wanted to mention.
People are still freaking out about what was it, a tropical storm or was it a hurricane, Beryl, that went through there? And
I think it was a Category 1 hurricane when it hit Mexico and crossed the border into Texas.
Apparently, at least some of my friends saw a lot of damage from that in their house and their power lines and all that stuff. I don't know. Again, the media hasn't covered that like it's any big thing either. I don't know.
Well, they're just like Texas without power again, kind of par for the course.
Right, yeah.
But at least the wheelchair's down at the wall at the border.
And every time Ted Cruz seems to be out of the country, every time there's one of these natural disasters in Texas, Ted Cruz is nowhere to be seen. You would think.
So you've never seen Ted Cruz in a disaster in the same place at the same time. Yeah. What a coincidence. So Ted Cruz is a disaster.
Yeah. Moving on to other things, and I know this is Ron's province is showbiz, but what's her name? Ingrid Andress.
I have a
rehab.
Yeah.
Yep. You know what? Rock bottom. Drunk doesn't. I know a lot of good singers who have been drunk. That doesn't make you sing off key like that.
Isn't she a teenager?
I don't think so. I don't know how old she is.
Well, I don't know either. I'm just. Only reason why I know her name is because of the baseball fiasco.
Well, she said she was very drunk and she let America down and let her fans down and all that stuff.
Yeah, I would say maybe let your fans down. Letting America down. You don't have to say that because America's let down every day. So
I don't think most of America knew who she was unless you're a country music fan. I mean, did you know of her before that?
No.
She didn't let me down. I never heard of her before, and I honestly, first look at her, I thought it was the Hawk Tour girl. Hawk Tour.
So she's next to sing the national anthem. She'll be like, "And the home of the."
Yeah. They probably couldn't get Taylor Swift, so they got her.
Yeah. They definitely couldn't get Taylor Swift. She doesn't need the exposure, right?
No, she does not.
Yeah.
Actually, if Taylor went there, they'd probably have to cancel the game because people would want a concert and not a baseball game. Like, get these fucking players off the field.
The other thing you touched on in showbiz yesterday was the Jack Black stuff. People are turning on. Yeah, and I didn't realize that basically he had canceled the whole tour. And it seems like he's willing to throw a relationship he's had with a good friend of his for 30 years, throw that guy under the bus and out of his life for a joke that he would probably make anyway. He just I think it's cowardice on Jack Black's part, because he's got stories about songs about Trump being in the KKK. It's not like that's off limits for him. He's pretty much that kind of guy anyway. So his friend made that comment. They got some they got some flack for it.
What
And
was
Jack
the
Black,
comment again? Because I honestly don't
he was don't miss next time. I think it was his birthday.
Yeah.
He was blowing out candles, and his wish was don't miss Trump next time.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, nothing really that bad, and it's his fucking opinion. So it's yeah, I don't think that's Jack Black. I think that's probably Jack Black's handler saying, "You have to get away from this guy because you were in the Super Mario Brothers movie. This could hurt your brand, and you want these studios to hire you and put you in these other kids' movies, so on and so forth."
Ian says it was his birthday. Give him a break. He was just making a wish.
Yeah.
Listen,
they have a whole foundation dedicated to that.
Make a wish.
Yes, I mean that's stupid for him to get in trouble for that.
Yeah, I think it's Jack Black's people telling him like you got to cancel this and get away from him, and who knows.
I think you're probably right about that. But you know what? He hasn't come out and addressed it either.
Yeah,
you need to get out in front of this thing. He should have just said it was a poorly timed joke. Our bad. Move on. You know? But to throw your friend, because it does seem like, where do they go from here? If it were me and if Mikey did that to me, I'd be like, I'm done with you, dude. You don't, because we have a 50-year relationship. You don't flush a 50-year relationship down for a disagreement because I said a bad joke that got us in trouble. Yeah, you got to stick by your team, man. And so I would definitely be done with the guy for the rest of my life with that if that happened.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't do that to you, man. I mean, after our 45-year relationship, I would not do that to you if you told an off-color joke. Not that you would ever.
I thought it was a 76-year relationship.
Not that you would ever tell an off-color joke or say something to get us in trouble or anything like that, because you wouldn't do that. But if you did do that,
my desk is falling apart. I gotta call Ben Carson and see if he can get me a new desk.
He'll get you in some Oreos.
Oreo? Yeah. You say bad jokes every day, and Mikey still your friend. He never hears them. That's probably the part of it. That music song that went up the day of the event, Donald Trump. I don't. Many Men, 50 Cent remix. I didn't hear that. I didn't. Did you guys know what you're talking about?
No, I think I've heard about this, but I haven't actually heard it. I think it's just one of those shitty songs where they take sound clips and add it into the song.
All right. We have a guest supposedly coming on in the next hour, Naomi Green, comedian. I've only seen like one show posted by her, and it was pretty far in the past. A mother of four, and one of these people who found through the ad on social media about looking for comedians and just signed up. And to be honest with you, when I approved it, I thought it was an actress named Naomi Green that I found on internet database. No, the IMDb Internet Movie Database. There's a Naomi Green who's got several movie credits, and that's comedy movie credits, and that's what I thought we were getting. So in the description it says, "We know nothing about Naomi Green," and literally I know she's got 4 kids. I know she's originally from Rhode Island. She might be living in Tennessee, and she might be part-time comedian. So that should be fun.
Maybe she's just telling jokes to her kids to entertain them.
I don't think anybody in their right mind would want their kids watching or listening to this program. That's what I would not. I wouldn't want my kids listening.
But you notice how you started that statement off with, "I don't think anyone in their right mind."
Right.
And then you proceeded from there.
Right. Well, you could be crazy or just be a really bad parent.
Yeah.
And want people.
Because you could be in your right mind and still be a terrible parent because you don't know how to parent.
No, I think. Well, okay.
I mean, you could be very sane. You just don't have that skill set.
I'm going to go get to news, but lastly, before I get to the news, Nick Fuentes. I know you guys don't pay attention to him, and good for you for not paying attention to him.
Is he an actor or musician?
He is the guy who went to Trump's dinner with Kanye West, the Nazi guy.
Yeah. I don't know how I keep forgetting his name. I know who he is.
Fuentes is a Hispanic name.
Yeah, it's
he
weird.
identifies as white American. I don't know.
It's weird. When I see that name in print, I know exactly who it is. When I hear the name, it doesn't mean anything to me.
Right. So Hispanic last name, but he identifies as white. Now he's talking about J.D. Vance, and he's saying, like, I don't know how he's not deplatformed by whatever he's on Vimeo, YouTube. He says J.D. Vance has a non-white wife with a kid named Vivek. You think she's going to stand up for white America? No, white people are being eliminated, and J.D. Vance is part of the problem because he's got a kid named Vivek, and he's really a Hindi and going off on and just like completely racist, vile stuff. And he's not getting deplatformed at all. He can just say that stuff all day long. Like, he's not going to protect our whiteness.
Yeah, and J.D. Vance, and J.D. Vance goes along with it. Same with Nikki Haley. She goes along with it. They're part of a cult that really does not like minorities. The only reason why, Trump likes the idea that, what's his face? Vance has a minority wife because Trump has an imported wife, and he thinks they're easier to domesticate. But that's it.
Okay. I don't think that was Trump's motivation for hooking up with Melania.
Yeah, Melania, Ivana, he likes to be able to domesticate women. American women are too headstrong,
I think he just looks at who he wants to fight. Hey, listen, I always thought Ivana, rest in peace, Ivana Trump. I always thought she was a very unattractive woman. She looked like a overdone, overmade up phony. But I think his primary motivation is always visual. Who would I like to fuck? And everything else comes secondary. Because he has been with American women.
Yeah, but that was because she got pregnant. That he didn't want to marry her like that. That was trying to stay out of court. That's all.
Okay. Well, Marla Maples he married.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about.
She got pregnant before they were married. I wasn't.
I'm pretty sure of that. I am almost.
Your sources tell you that?
No, this is my memory, but also remember Zsa Zsa Gabor holding a pussycat in her lap and talking to Johnny Carson. As a matter of fact, I have it on video.
G.D. Mandela. Anyway,
I have that on video.
Let's listen to some AI news and take a little break here. And
6 firefighters have died battling a bushfire in the eastern KwaZulu-Natal province of South Africa, with another 2 in critical condition, emergency services said.
Authorities suspect that the fire may have been started by poachers trying to trap animals. 3 firefighters died at the scene of the fire near the town of Boston, around 80 miles inland from the east coast city of Durban. Emergency services spokesperson Roland Robertson said. Joseph Eckerson reporting.
A French soldier deployed in the country's anti-terrorism force was stabbed at a train station in central Paris on Monday evening, according to French government officials.
A soldier with Operation Sentinelle was stabbed while on patrol at Gare de l'Est in Paris. He is not in serious condition. The perpetrator was arrested, French Interior Minister Gérald Darmanin said in a post on X. Operation Sentinelle is an anti-terrorism military operation established in the aftermath of the Charlie Hebdo terror attack in January 2015. Benjamin Wright reporting.
Shares of former President Donald Trump's social media platform, Truth Social, surged following the assassination attempt.
In early trading on Monday, shares rose about 30% to a price of $40. That figure marked the highest level for the stock in more than a month, but shares still remained well below a peak of about $62. The stock serves as a little bit of a proxy for sentiment toward Donald Trump himself, Tyler Ritchie, an analyst at Sevens Report Research stated. Liam White reporting.
Investment giant BlackRock is removing an advertisement that included Thomas Crooks, the gunman who targeted Donald Trump.
In 2022, we ran an ad featuring a teacher from Bethel Park High School, in which several unpaid students briefly appeared in the background, including Thomas Matthew Crooks, a spokesperson for the company said. BlackRock is a major investor in gun companies, including Sturm Ruger and American Outdoor Brand, the owner of Smith & Wesson. Jim Kender reporting.
We're going to have more news,
or
should I
news
just
headlines.
bomb them? And when I say bomb them, I don't mean actually bomb them. I mean sound effect bomb them, just in case anybody.
Actor James B. Sicking, best known for roles in the TV shows Hill Street Blues and Doogie Howser, M.D., has died at the age of 90.
Sicking died of complications from dementia, according to a statement from his publicist. Sicking worked on Doogie Howser, which ran for 97 episodes from 1989 to 1993. He played Dr. David Howser, father of teenage genius Doogie, played by Neil Patrick Harris. Jessica Oakley reporting.
The hospitality group at the center of an employment discrimination lawsuit against the Shinola Hotel in Detroit called allegations that a black man received an interview only after he used a Caucasian name on his resume baseless.
In a statement, Daniel Del Olmo, president of Sage Hospitality, touted the company's record of hiring diverse candidates and said there were significant inconsistencies in the lawsuit filed against the hotel that his company operates.
G.T. Fenderson sounds like a Caucasian name to me. Are you using a Caucasian name?
No, I use a Caucasian voice on the telephone, though.
Different than that Caucasian voice you just used right there?
A little bit different than this one here, yes.
If I talk to you on the telephone, and I have talked to you on the telephone, I kind of knew your race before I talked to you. So
but I'm not trying to impress you. Like I have.
But I mean, I would not know that you were black just by your voice. If I talk to you on the telephone, I don't think, this guy must be a black guy.
It's funny. I have friends that had known me for years. I'm thinking of one particular friend because of his comment. We played in a band together, and I was talking on the phone to him. And we're just talking, and then he said something to get me, and I got upset about it. I got excited about it.
Oh,
and then he goes, "There's the black guy."
Movie Theater Glenn came out.
Yes.
Now I will admit to being racist enough to have heard people that I assumed were black on the telephone, but you don't sound like what my racist interpretation of what a black man is supposed to sound like on the phone. You're not doing Amos and Andy. That's basically
no. and even with my, like I said, as I gotten older, I've gotten less careful with my diction and my English. And actually, and part of that is also with my when I got my teeth fixed, they made them proportionate to my canines. And it makes it difficult for me to speak like I used to speak because my teeth now touch my lips, my bottom lip, and it didn't used to.
See, now I've heard several, and this is I'm wondering if this is going to happen to me because my brother had all his teeth removed and now has fake teeth. He had a full mouth of teeth. He had them all pulled because he was having toothaches. He had them all pulled to get dentures. But when he's not wearing his dentures and I talk to him on the phone, he's like, I can't understand a word he says. And Willie was like that. When Willie didn't have his teeth in, I could not understand it. I'm worried that that's going to happen. It didn't happen to my father. My father, when he got his teeth removed, like my brother did, because he was having toothaches. I was like, that's kind of extreme. But my father, I could always hear, I could understand perfectly. But I'm concerned that when I start to lose more teeth, that I'm not going to be able to talk anymore, and that would really suck.
I know it's funny. In 2002, well, actually, before I got my teeth fixed, my canines have already been very long. My canines have always made me look like a vampire because they stuck.
What about your teeth? I know your dogs are one thing, but what about your teeth? I'm sorry, that's your joke.
No sweat. No. And so when I got my veneers, they made them in length proportionate to where they should be ideally with my canines, and they were so long that I could not talk. And so I had to go back and they shortened them, but they're still very long. They're longer than.
So you are like not like a lion. Oh, look, I was just thinking
Yeah.
about Stephen. I was just going to say somebody should check on him. He's here now. Well, he's not here now.
Yeah, my canines were very long, and if I got into a fight with someone and I was losing and I had to bite, oh Lord, nobody wanted to lose a fight to me because they knew I'd bite and they knew I'd win after that point.
We'll call you Tiger from now on. Tiger Henderson. Get out of my spot. Fucking spot stealing. How are you, Stephen?
He looks like a power top now.
Yeah, he's all locked up. He's not here. Do you hear us?
Good morning, fellas. How are you?
Your frame is like 4 miles behind you.
Yeah, breaking up.
Yes.
How's your Wi-Fi? Your Wi-Fi's not refreshed. See.
Yeah, but your deodorant is.
All right, Steve. You just sit there and listen and don't say a word until you get your Wi-Fi. Just sit there and look pretty.
My Wi-Fi is not refreshed, but my eye drops are. Refresh eye drops. Get rid of that burning feeling.
Are those for sale on MindDog.tv?
Wow.
Yeah, you can buy them on MindDog.tv. I have lots of empty bottles that I don't throw away. I can sell the empty bottles on MindDog.
Now, let's take wagers. Let's go to mybookie.com and see if we can bet on this. Is Ron taking a shit right now?
Oh, no.
No, he's jerking off.
To me?
Yeah, it's a habitual. It's 10:11. That's what he'd be doing at 10:11. Well, actually, he started at 10:10.
No, Rod's jerking off.
And he's doing it to the picture behind Ron, the one in the middle. That girl. That's.
Wow. He's actually just jerking off to the small picture of himself is what he's doing.
Wow, that would be very weird. I mean, that's narcissism to a whole other level. Loving yourself enough that you.
I would bet most politicians have done it, and I bet Trump does it for sure.
It's not. I don't think he loves himself like that. I think he's working on his cum face so that he doesn't scare his wife anymore. He's like, okay, that's not good. Yeah.
I never heard of that. Working on your cum face.
Yeah.
He was probably like all the time, like, and she was like, stop. She's like, I need you to be more like.
Yeah. And so he's practicing right now. He's like, ooh.
King Charles of the UK, like there's another one, is in the spotlight today. I don't know anything about that.
Well, you had a Prince George who wasn't from the UK.
This is America. We don't care about no kings and queens.
King Charles at the moment. I think there's only one country that has a King Charles at the moment.
In case.
At this moment in history. Why is he in the news? I don't see him. King Charles travels across London Bridge in a golden chariot wearing the crown jewels. Blah, blah, blah. That was from 3 hours ago.
It's in the spotlight, but not in the news because I don't know anything about it.
Yeah, we don't care about England. We don't care about Britain. We don't care about the UK. We don't care about any of it.
And if it weren't for the waffles, I wouldn't care about Belgium.
He or she is. We still don't know if Marvei 2.2 is a he or she or they or us or we or them.
But this is the second version of Marvei.
Second point 2.
Oh yeah, I think
it's version 2.2, which means it's second version and upgraded.
I keep forgetting my gas in the United States all ends in 0.9. Why don't they just get rid of the 0.9 and just say what it is? I don't know if it's psychological, so it seems cheaper.
You're asking the wrong guy. I never pointed to anything.
Dude, that shit used to confuse me as a kid. I used to be like, why is there an extra number on there? And my parents never knew either.
Ron, did you wash your hands?
No, some Democrats came to the door. They're doing door to door.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
Now, are you watching your local news?
You didn't record it?
Well, no. We had a great conversation, and I told him, I don't care if it's a bucket of shoes in November. I'm going to vote for that over the other guy.
Why don't you bring him in and have him sit on the microphone with you? Not sit on the microphone with you. That gets crowded, but
Ew.
Yeah.
This microphone smells like shit. What did you do to it? I had some Democrats sitting over on it.
Kind of like that parody of sitting on the dock of the bay. You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Sitting on a cock 'cause I'm gay.
Well.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, the Trump event of Saturday night, I'm not calling it an assassination attempt because I'm not altogether convinced at this point that it wasn't. I stuck a piece of glass in my ear to make it bleed. Somebody else got shot. Manchurian
Well,
Kid, I think.
Have you seen the conspiracy online with because he was golfing the next day and there's nothing on his
He had
ear?
nothing on his ear. Nothing.
Yeah, so
I saw that and pointed it out on Monday, and
Right.
everyone's making him out to be a fucking martyr. It's wild.
yeah, then he shows up with that bandage on his ear at the convention. Is like, really?
Yeah. And it's not even put
Did
on
you
by
see
a
the?
doctor. No,
Did you see the people walking around the convention rocking the big Band-Aid on the ear? They're saying it's the latest fashion trend.
Yeah. Now I know this is conspiracy theory talk, and I'm not saying I am convinced that it was staged, but I don't think it was beyond him. And I'm saying I'm not completely convinced that it wasn't staged because it would not be beyond what he would do. I mean, this is a guy who fucking kicks golf balls onto the fucking fairway. It's not.
Hey, everyone gets a
kicks his
mulligan.
family under
A
the
guy
bus.
who throws his wife down the stairs because she's going to spill the beans on him fucking knocking up his daughter. That's, you know, that's who we're dealing with here. So a staged assassination attempt would not be beyond the realm. And we know that he loves it. And listen, I'm feeding into the conspiracy theories now. I'm sorry about that. But we know that he had this admiration for Hitler. We know that from his ex-wife or the wife he pushed down the stairs told us that in 1990. Hitler staged an assassination attempt 80 years ago this week. It was July 20th, where he only got his left ear injured, which was very weird, right? That, you know, my hero did it. Why don't I do it? That kind of thing. So that's feeding into all this stuff too. You know, so whatever. I'm not convinced that. And I know people were saying, well, you got to stop spreading these conspiracy all over. You know, until they tell us the fucking truth, we are free to kind of fucking fill up the void of space with all this kind of bullshit. Until
That's kind of what we're left with.
His doctors won't come out, and he won't release his doctors to come out and say what they pulled out of his ear and how bad
They're
it was.
too busy dealing with what he pulls out of his ass.
Well, we had like when JFK was assassinated, we had information within an hour, all of that, and Trump gets his ear nicked, and we got no info.
I would not necessarily say we had accurate information on all of that either.
Yeah.
No, but I'm just saying they were giving out considerably more information.
We
than
were
what
getting
getting now.
information about Trump. They said he was hit by a bullet in the ear. That's what we were told, and it was this Thomas Matthew Crooks that did it. They were saying this morning, and this has not been. I mean, this is fucking people on Twitter showing videos, and that there was a second shooter who took a shot at one of the snipers, the Secret Service snipers, and so they said the first shot. This person who was posting these videos, the first shot was heard, and then another shot from another angle came towards one of the snipers, and that's when you see the sniper hit the deck. But
yeah,
Sherry Jacobus, who has been on the show, who I never get her name right, and she's been angry with me a couple of times for not getting her name right. She said, Trump won't let doctors and law enforcement say if he was hit by a bullet or just hit with flying debris, like cops standing near him, because if it was debris or and not bullets, that you know, it doesn't make him kind of the martyr they need him to be.
Yeah.
So
now, hold on. For the record, I wasn't comparing him to JFK in any way other than being shoosted upon. That's it. There's no other comparison.
Right.
But
you were saying they put out information pretty quickly. The information they were putting out was all over the place with that too. I mean, but again, there was no internet in those days, so people, even if they were making shit up, did not have the ability to spread it at like fucking lightning speed. So
yeah,
it would, and it would be really fucked up if it was staged, especially since one guy died and a couple other people got hurt. I mean, how fucked up would that be?
Well,
that's what I wanted to bring up because when
go ahead.
I was to say during the I didn't watch the whole RNC, but I would like jump in here and there and like I've been watching interviews and stuff. And my God, man, like the fact that none of the victims outside of Trump are getting any notoriety or attention at all, other than the shooter and Trump, is ridiculous. The guy went on stage and said, "Do you believe in miracles? God saves. Look what he did for Donald Trump." And I'm sitting here like, what about the people who actually died, though?
Yeah, and there's been reports that
self-centered narcissism.
He hasn't even called that family or anything like that.
Oh no, they rejected his phone call. The family said that he called them. She did not answer. The mother refused to talk to him. She said Biden did reach out to her, and she took that call.
Yeah,
good.
Which is weird because they were there. They were all Trumpers. They, you know.
I wonder if they were I wonder if they were just paid seat fillers.
In the bleachers in front of them.
Yeah.
Here's the point I think that needs to be said here. If we find out that any of it, to any degree, was staged, won't make a difference to the people on the Trump train now. Because first of all, most of them won't believe it, like my friend who won't believe that Project 2025 exists and refuses to read it. He doesn't want to know. Most of those people will not accept it if there is absolute concrete evidence that some of it was staged. They'll just deny it and say, no, I refuse to accept that.
Yeah.
Just
and
like
I think it's weird that Trump would appoint one of the stars from My Stepdaughter Goes Black videos for his vice president, too. I mean, that's strange. I mean, that guy looks like he just rolled off the set. Like, honey, you won't believe what I saw today. 6 black guys
looks like
pounding this little white girl.
Wait, can I just because I'm culturally unhip. Is there really a show called My Stepdaughter Dates Black?
Oh, yeah, yes,
probably. JD Vance looks like the spokesperson for it. He looks like he's
Steven. Not probably, Ron. Is there a show? Is that a factual thing?
Yes, yeah, there is. Like when you start digging in those porn holes, pun intended.
I've never liked the word worse.
There are so many different subgenres of just that.
Oh, that's gross.
Yeah, well, and trust me, maybe you're not a fan of racism, but you love the hard R being thrown around. There is porn out there like that.
3 days in a row, guests have not shown up. We had two, and now one. That's 5 guests so far this week.
3 days.
Well, they're busy going down these rabbit holes of these subgenres of porn.
Listen, I wouldn't show up for this show either, but I wouldn't book it.
Right? Yeah.
And I just don't know. I'm at a loss. I mean, I can't continue just to tell these people just go fuck yourself.
You can. Maybe that's why maybe
I'm
that's
out of
it.
fuck.
So that's it. That's what they want. They don't want the pressure of being interviewed and put under the spotlight, but they want the notoriety of being told they were fucked off by Matt.
I'm not sure that's a thing.
I think it is a thing now. It's a new thing. I mean, it's just like when people first started watching TikTok, they only had 1 follower. Now look how many there are.
How many times have I told you to fuck off? Has it helped your career at all?
Yes, it helped my career. Well, at least in the supermarket. When I go to the supermarket, they don't check in my bags. When I bring in my bags,
right, fuck off.
Yeah, when I bring my bags into the supermarket, they don't.
Oh, you guys, fuck off.
Check them. Right.
Fuck off, all of you.
No.
I'm not seeing anything happening. Your phones aren't ringing. Nobody's calling you. Fuck off, all of you. Fuck off. See? Nobody's calling you. It's not doing anything for your career.
I just got booked at a gig at the White House. Look at that.
Oh, but now they changed the name to the Black House.
No, it's the White House down the street. It's
Crack House. Crack House up the block.
We have the White House, the Black House, and the Crack House. Actually, this house where I'm living now used to be a crack house. So I'm told. At least some of the children tried to turn it into one.
Here's something I did not know. I was not aware of. In the Prentice TV show, Trump always said, "You're fired." Did you know that?
What?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I didn't even know he had a TV show.
Hey, fuck off! It's not working.
TV show? Is that what Trump says on his TV show?
I'm pretty sure this is his TV show. We're living it. It's like the Truman Show, but it should have been canceled years ago. This is my problem. Now, I don't know if you remember. I don't know. It's been so long. I think it was yesterday or Monday when I said I'm ready for the asteroid to hit. I say that quite a bit, but I said it on this program in the morning. I don't know if you're aware that a meteor the size of a tractor trailer flew over my house at 34,000 miles an hour that very morning. Was it Monday morning?
Yeah, it was the meteor. There's what's it called? The Pleiades meteor shower happens once a year.
A meteor went by my house last night, and I went in my front yard and got down on my knees and said, "God, please take me."
NASA reported this was the closest large meteor, and it rocked all along. People were saying it was rocking their houses and all that kind of stuff, which is
it was. That was called. That's the vibration.
Not lucky enough to actually have it hit. I was lucky enough to kind of summon it to the neighborhood, but it would knock on my door.
And
so is that like a Papoosetuck rain dance that brings down asteroids instead of rain? A Papoosetuck rain dance?
No, you're thinking of hemorrhoids, not asteroids.
Oh, my bad. Okay.
As long as I don't hear by the grace of God we escaped that fate. I'm so tired of hearing by the grace of God. The past few days I've heard that more than I've ever wanted to hear it before, and never want to hear it again.
I'm tired of living through end of the world events at my age. I'm only 33 and I've lived through so many.
Yeah, you've had a lot.
I know, like I said, I'm only 33. It'd be different if I was 70 and had all of this under my belt, but I don't. I'm 33 and I've had it happen so many times almost. It just needs to happen already.
It's only happening to you though. No one else is feeling it.
That's not true at all. December 21st, 2012, you had 9/11, you had Y2K.
Right. You're the only one who
you had the invasion of Iraq that started World War III.
Right. You're the only one who experienced it. No one else experienced those things.
Y2K, what happened?
Oh, nothing. But God, the fear mongering was outrageous. I was 9 years old when it happened, and I remember how scared everybody was that the planes were going to fall from the sky, the trains were going to derail, cars were going to go crazy, nukes were going to go off because the computers were going to fail. And
I wasn't concerned. I just thought it was stupid.
I had very little concern too, but it was all like the History Channel, the news channels, the teachers were talking about it. It was everywhere. And then the same week is December 21st, 2012, when the Mayan calendar ends. That whole week, everybody was freaking out that the world was going to end. And then my only complaint was, I swear to God, it better happen before work starts and not after.
No,
and it never happened at all. So,
yeah, I don't remember knowing anybody that actually believed in the Mayan calendar thing.
No.
Y2K, I think. Listen, we kind of were aware of the it's kind of like when people bring up the ozone thing. Remember when they were freaking out about the ozone? We took measures to kind of heal the ozone up with the aerosol bans and all that kind of stuff. With the Y2K stuff, they did fix the clock issue that were part of most of the computers that ran the banking system. There was a serious clock issue. The clocks were not prepared to handle turning over to 0000 from 1999, and so that was an issue, but it got fixed, and we had time enough to fix it. So I think that was a real concern, but it got fixed right. Anyway.
I know, but man, it's just it either needs to happen or people need to quit bringing it up.
in the 70s, they said the world was cooling down. Yes, they did. And yeah, there are certain parts of the world that are cooling down. Climate change is not necessarily global warming. I mean, there's been misnomers for it, but I do think there is ample evidence that mankind is
fucking things up.
Fucking things up. How could we not?
And I'm pretty sure the term global warming is in reference to like global water currents and air currents, not necessarily the ball itself heating as a whole. Because you have, like you said, some parts that are still cooling off. You're getting places freezing over that shouldn't be, and places on fire that shouldn't be, and everything in between.
Yeah. One of you guys want to call Naomi Green? You want to call her and ask her where she is?
Hey, Naomi.
Hey, Naomi.
You know, speaking of global warming, oddly enough, it was Al Gore who molested my polar bear. So
I'm not. What do you mean polar bear? What are you talking about?
My pet polar bear. He molested it, trying to save him.
What the fuck are you talking about? No, has this natural disaster event, this fake tornado that you lived through, has it fucked with your brain a little bit, or what do you?
Dude, I'm so tired. I'm so tired.
You're tired? I have not slept.
Well, so Sunday night, or not Sunday night, what night was the storm? What's today? Wednesday? My days are all off. Let's see, what is today? Today's Wednesday. So yesterday we had no power. So Monday night, all the tornado alarms were going off and everything went crazy, and then the power went out. My phone was the only one charged. So I was up all night watching the weather while everyone else slept.
Well, that was irresponsible.
Yeah, I know. Fuck me.
You only have one source of light, one source of connection to the world, and you're using it to watch weather.
And you call yourself a prepper.
Don't you have windows?
Never said I was a prepper. I'm very unprepared for if anything happens.
You're a prepper by genetically. You're a prepper.
Do you not have windows in your house?
Well, yeah, but with the tree cover we have, I can only see about 5% of the sky. So there's no being able to watch out for anything either. So
if the wind comes and snatches a tree out the ground, you know to duck and cover.
Yeah, but some of the trees around our road are so dead and dying that fucking 10-mile-per-hour winds knock branches down. So it's
I have a show tonight with a guy named Frank Healy. I don't know if he's going to show up. Healy. He's going to be healing me. Tomorrow, Hannah Tackett, who I scheduled like months ago. She's not a comedian. She's a burnout coach, which I thought at the time, I'm going through burnout. And I still feel like I'm going through burnout. I could use some advice on how to avoid burnout, but I'm not sure she's going to show up. I don't think anybody on this fucking calendar for the next month and a half was booked. I'm not sure any of them are going to show up. I'm feeling, and nobody's really, except that Prince George guy who wanted me to do it in the afternoon with him. Nobody is actually even responding to me saying you were a no-show. What happened? Nobody.
Wait a minute. You're supposed to do it to him in the afternoon.
Yeah,
do it with him in the afternoon.
Whatever you want me to do.
No wonder you're tired. Yeah. I was napping, and you're busy trying to do it to.
Well, we're talking about 2 days ago. You were napping yesterday, not 2 days ago.
I nap every day.
This is something new we're finding out about you. You're a napper.
Yes, I nap every day.
You know, I actually nap every day also.
Same time?
Roughly. Usually once we get off. Usually we'll get off the show. I'll clean the house and then I'll get on my recliner and pass out for like 3 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, with me it depends.
Around noon, 1 o'clock.
If I'm performing that night, my nap is later in the evening, closer to when I leave the house. And if I'm not performing, then it's earlier in the afternoon.
All right. Good.
Yeah,
good
if I perform at night, I definitely have to nap for sure. Just so I
welcome to Old Man Nap Hour.
Right. Yeah.
Stay tuned for our next episode where
I'm capable of not napping.
Let's all take a nap now. Oh,
the Nap Nap Hour.
let me before, because you're talking about performing, I want to ask you guys about last night at the doghouse. But I just want to say I had the weirdest fucking dream yesterday in a nap, where every dead person I know was in the dream, and a girl I used to live with. I don't want to say she was a girlfriend. She wasn't a girlfriend, but she used to. And she came, and I woke up thinking I should check on her because everybody else in the dream was my dead friends. She's probably dead. I haven't checked on her. She could be dead, but it was one of the weirdest fucking dreams ever. Where everybody who I was close with who died was in the dream, and I don't know. In the dream, I was watching television, and they were all pointing out stuff that I shouldn't do on my show because they were seeing it on television. It was very.
Are you smoking the white weed before bed again?
No, I wasn't smoking at all. Weird dream, but
that's why. That's why I bet, because I hear that if do you normally smoke before you sleep, or do you just smoke to chill?
No, I smoke sativa. I don't sleep. When I get high, I want to write music. I want to do something creative. I want to edit videos.
Okay, cool. I was just curious because I know that if people slow down on marijuana or they stop smoking for a little bit, and they'll start dreaming better.
Well, don't ever
sometimes those dreams get crazy.
All right, let's talk about the doghouse. Last night, there was a huge comedy show somewhere in Pennsylvania, York, Pennsylvania, I believe.
It was really, really hot. It was really hot.
It was hot. It was hot as fuck because the air conditioner in that room was not working. So we had to prop the door open, and we only had a couple audience members, and we just banged it out quickly and got out of there because it was so fucking hot. It was just hot.
How was the crowd? Was there a crowd there?
They were also hot.
But were they there? I mean,
we had like 2 audience members officially. We would have had 4 or 5 if it wasn't so hot in that room, because there were some people at the bar that wanted to come in, and they told me they walked back there and it was just too hot for them, which I get because it was. It was not.
A big crowd, the biggest crowd you've had there, or like just say a big crowd there. Would you say that 30 people? Have you had 30 people?
The largest I've seen was 19, and that was Ron. That was when you left me. You deserted me and left me there by myself. And I did that 90-minute set.
Just when I need. It's like that song "You Left Me when I needed you most." The question: how long you been doing this thing?
About a year and a half.
Are you getting? Does it ever get frustrating? I mean, because for me, that would be disheartening. I would be like, "Come on, man! I can't. What do I got to do to get this thing going? Who do I got to fucking blow? Who do I got to fucking bribe? Who do I got to get gold bars to?"
Yeah, I mean, yes and no. There are some days that I think about just putting a bullet in its head and walking away from it. But at the same time, it's like, where else am I going to go on a Tuesday? There's another Tuesday mic that's like 25 minutes north of us, and that's the same thing. Most of the time for them, it's just comics, and you might get a couple audience members. It's a tough day. It's a Tuesday in South Central Pennsylvania. So
I get it. Yeah.
No matter where you're at, it's going to be an uphill battle. But like I said, since the non-smoking, it has gotten better. Now this week, the York Fair starts. So next week, I don't know what we'll get next week. It might just be comics. I don't know.
Some clowns. Maybe we'll get some clowns from the fair.
We could get some carny runoff. Who knows?
Carny runoff.
Hopefully. Either way, I would trade you guys so quick though. Our one open mic in town got canceled this week and next week, and I have no shows until August 13th. Like, man, like my town has died is what's happened.
Now, Matt, I'll answer your question about the wanting to getting frustrated. The funny thing about that bike is that for a while, we have these moments of
Don't move your head.
We have these moments of such potential when it's like week and a week and a week, and audiences. It looks like we're building up an audience.
Stop moving. Stop moving.
Just before Christmas, it's like we had a nice following, and we took 2 weeks off for Christmas and New Year's, and we come back. The audience didn't come back.
We're listening to AIGD.
I think I heard that they had such a good run going, and then they took 2 weeks off, and then it seems like after that everybody disappeared.
That's the way it seems, yeah. I mean, it's through my eyes. Ron may see it totally different because Ron sees things differently than I do. Like I think I'm talented and he doesn't. We have agreement that I think, but it's just these moments of things that seem so promising.
Your earbuds are fucking with you again. That's all I can say. Yeah. I don't know if he has anything to do with it. But
no, it's not me because you're freezing for me too. I was hearing bits and pieces and putting it together.
Yeah. But I tell you what, this would be me, and I'm not suggesting this should be you at all. I am the worst person for this stuff, but I understand Ron's point of what else am I going to do on a Tuesday night? And I would say, yeah, I would have the same thing. Like it's a Tuesday night, I would just be wasting it at home or having to be forced to watch a movie with my wife or something like this. I might as well go out, and then like half an hour before they'd be like, you know what, it's not really worth it, I'm not going down there, and then I wouldn't go, and then I would be kicking myself for not going. Look, you wasted a night now. It would be one of those situations. It would not be good for me no matter what. If I did it, I would be pissed and frustrated that I'm doing it for nothing. If I didn't do it, I'd feel like I missed out on an opportunity. It's just like it would be a no-win situation for me. And
well, it is paid to host it. I mean, it's not like a big sum of cash or anything. But my wife has even asked me. He's like, "Why are you still doing this one?" But I always come to the same conclusion. It's like, well, I could probably go set up shop someplace else and maybe get some people. But then again, in this area, it's a fucking Tuesday night. Yeah. So even when you go down to, Baltimore, I mean, Baltimore is a big city, and a lot of their Tuesday mics, it's all fucking comics because most people don't want to come out on a Tuesday night, especially
New York City is difficult on a Tuesday night. Definitely. I mean, you get tourists in some places, but unless you're one of the bigger, like the Stand or Gotham Comedy Club or Broadway, you get a lot of those clubs stuff. Some of them don't even bother opening on a Tuesday night. Like, it's not. It doesn't pay me to pay a bartender and a wait staff.
And especially with costs being so high now, I think people are really discriminative on where they're going to go out during the week and spend money.
What does this mean? What is what?
It's Belgium. It's Belgium. It's Tuesday. It must be Belgium. It's Wednesday. It must be Belgium. But it's Tuesday. It must be Belgium. It's the name of a movie. I don't know. It's some. I don't know. I don't. I just
was
don't.
Tuesday Weld in that movie?
Yes. Tuesday Weld was in the movie. Tuesday it must be Belgium. Yes.
Right.
It was kind of weird that Tuesday was in the movie that has her name in it. What do I know? Steven, who's Tuesday Weld?
Fuck, I don't know.
I don't know. She was hot. She was Tuesday hot. Tuesday Weld was. She wasn't a welder.
I know Wednesday Addams.
All right. Wednesday Addams. Oh yeah. But who played Wednesday Addams?
Christina Ricci.
It depends on which movie. Which
I was gonna say, which one are you talking about?
Talking about the television show from
Jenna Ortiz or something.
Yeah, that's
Jenna Ortega.
Yeah,
Ortega.
I mean, I'll give her my last name if she wants it, but Oh, gross.
That was kind of an evil little pervert laugh.
I know.
She posts like semi-revealing pictures of herself on.
Oh, I don't follow
TikTok
her on social media or anything. I just know who
Instagram.
she is from the Wednesday Addams show.
All right, I'm bored with this show. You guys want to run the show, and I'll just sit back and watch like a fan, make believe.
Ronnie Kane, do you have any show business?
Yep, I got a couple stories. We got a couple, nothing. But
I already pissed on your showbiz fire, though, didn't I? Didn't I a little bit?
And now, bringing you the latest in entertainment news from Hollywood, New York, and East Bumfuck, Montana. Here's our chief entertainment correspondent, Ron Kane. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showbiz.
I think I bought when they found out that I wanted four sets of their expensive glasses. They said no. I don't know. They haven't said no. They haven't answered me.
And I didn't pick expensive glasses. The ones I picked were like what, $20?
I don't know.
Mine were like 32.
I didn't even look at the prices, to be honest with you. I'm just guessing. I'm throwing darts in the dark here. Why they haven't gotten back to me?
Back to you, Ron.
Well, it might have been that last email you sent. It says, "Send me the fucking glasses." Sincerely,
Bitch, better have my glasses.
It could be the email that said, "If you don't send me the glasses, I'm going to visit your roof." They didn't know what it meant, but they took it as a threat.
Hey, just know, Matt, that we all know that you're not prone to outbursts.
Inbursts, yeah.
Showbiz, everybody. It's hump day. You know what that means? Get it wet and get it ready. So the first thing here is this is a picture from Twisters. That's right. This semi-reboot, whatever, remake / sex film with tornadoes is back. It has that guy from the this is how much I care about this movie, and this fucking guy. He was in Top Gun and that Netflix movie which people say is good, but I'm still trying to figure out why, because to me it was not good.
Is that guy deformed or something with that arm?
It does look like that. His arm and hand.
Oh, it's just a bad camera angle, or oh my god, oh my god,
he's AI generated.
If Trump was here, he would be like, "It looks like this." Anyway, go on.
Yeah, so this movie's coming out this Friday. Will it do well? Who knows? It's I don't know. It's Twister with better CGI, I guess. Is that the pitch?
I feel like my generation who enjoyed Twister might go see it just for nostalgia purposes, but that's gonna be it.
When I want to get nostalgia, I just watch the other Twister. I don't look at.
I do too. Yeah,
I don't need the reboot. I don't need the reboot, especially when they're using the same not the same technology to make it, but the same technology to track the storms. You know, those little Dorothy things.
Yeah. Also, as a side note, everybody, the rapper Twista is not in this movie. So sorry to disappoint you. He was busy.
I have to admit, I'm pretty disappointed. No, I'm not.
Did they at least play the board game? Are they at least playing the board game during the movie?
Yeah. We got to play Twister with a Twister coming.
I think Steven would audition for the role of the board in the board game.
Yeah. I think with I know the problem with this movie. I know the problem with this movie already. It's going to be, they're going to try and make it somewhat serious without like the campiness or anything like that, and they're going to take this serious. And yeah, it's
why was the first one not serious? The Bill Pullman, is that was his name, right? The actor that was in the original. I don't know.
Yeah, Bill Pullman and Helen Hunt.
Yeah,
no, it wasn't Bill Pullman.
It wasn't
Paxton, right?
Paxton, yeah,
Paxton.
Bill Paxton.
Yeah, all right, yeah, you're right. Oh, that wasn't serious. They played that up goofy. They goofed that up.
Well, it had comic relief.
It was very. They made the tornadoes seem not super dangerous as it should have been, and they made it seem more like we're on an adventure.
storm chasers have that attitude that the tornado is not that serious. They drive right at it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well-
that didn't get me.
Because originally, I don't think the original is all that great. It's not a bad movie because Bill Paxton, he does make it because he was just that type of actor.
Yeah.
He was great in his roles. Even the small roles that he was in, he just brought that like good energy to it. And I feel like this guy here from Top Gun, I mean, you might as well just look at a paint on the wall and be like, oh yeah, this is exciting.
Yeah, outside of his Top Gun character, everything he's played is very one-dimensional and very just
Yeah. So after this movie bombs, see him in the new prison sex film coming next summer. Called Pounded in a Cage, starring Tom Cruise and this guy.
Wow.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah. This guy needs an award. They both do.
Yeah. So this is kind of burning up the internet comedy wise. Shane Gillis and Adam Ray were on the Kill Tony podcast, and Shane was obviously Trump and Adam Ray as Biden. And honestly, they both fucking killed it. I'm still getting through the episode, but like Shane's take on Trump is very good. Adam Ray's Biden was good, especially the interplay between those two and just watching them try not to break. It was.
No,
I saw a couple of clips where they did lose it a little bit. Because this earlier in the show, what we were talking about, these are the people that were recruited to do fundraisers for RFK Jr. And it's curious to me. I don't know where they stand politically on any of this stuff. I really don't. But it just seems to me that they were on board with the fundraising for RFK Jr. And I would just wonder, because Hinchcliffe was definitely, he was all in. Whether how are they going to react to this whole now radio silence from RFK Jr. being exposing himself?
Well, with like with Shane, he's from this area, and so and Shane has talked about having a Trump dad because he said his dad is into Fox News and Trump, and I don't know if coming from this area, I would think he could probably be somewhat in the middle. That's kind of the impression that I get from him. I don't feel like he's a Trumper. But I just think he's more of a moderate. He has some liberal views and he has conservative views.
I know he's a big history buff, and he has to know about world history, especially the one I'm talking about is German, the German history that seems to parallel where we're at right now. So
so I think it might be one of those things where he struggles with his dad and his family, but it's like, it is.
Dude,
he's in the, go ahead.
Watching them last night, man, was just like it was a workshop in role play. It was just the way they did it was just amazing. And I love at one point he's without not giving any spoilers, I know you're still working through, but at one point he stops being as funny. He goes, "Oh shit, I'm getting way too into character."
Yes, I see that, especially
it was so funny because he catches himself and he goes, "Oh shit, I need to loosen up a little bit. I'm starting to act like Trump for real here for a second."
Yeah, and they did walk up to almost an assassination joke, and that's when he walked off of it. It's like, I better